The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the New York Knicks. For New York, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split. And Kenny, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season, Ernie. You know,
Huge deals.
Huge deals. You know, but typically they come in the offseason because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in midseason. So you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler of the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players would be slow to acclimate. But, Ernie, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
We're coming at you from beautiful New York City as the Knicks prepare to take the home court. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. The New York Knicks come into this one after a win against the Nets in Brooklyn. And guys, it could have gone either way. Narrowly won that one by 2.
Just a terrific effort off the bench. Guys came in, they seemed fresh, and they all contributed.
Well, most of the time, guys come off the bench and just try to stabilize. Tonight, they got some serious points, and when you're on the road, it gives you unanticipated advantages.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis was taken with the 4th pick in 2015, and he was considered a project then. But he's shown himself ready, and part of that has been his mentality. He said, "They thought I was afraid, but that's not who I am. I'll never back down from anybody. If I want to succeed, I can't be scared of anybody. I've got to be fearless out there on the court." Kevin?
Thanks, GA. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. Now that we're into the year, some teams starting to show cracks, Brent, could use an infusion of talent. How hard is it to make an in-season trade that can really have an impact on your team?
I think it's more and more difficult, Kevin, with the rules and the way that the salary cap is set up for teams really that are contending for something big. To go out and all of a sudden grab that one piece. It's very rare that a team can go out that's sitting on top of the standings and find that one specialist that's going to come in and make that team even better. So when that does happen, you have to really commend GMs that have done their homework and manipulated the salary cap so that there's space for that kind of player.
Complex, I agree. Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony is out there with Paul George, and it's Adams in at the 5 down low. Here's Moutier. Good D by Westbrook. New York on D. There's the 3. Goes back up. Porzingis with the block. Here's Ntilikina. 8 points his last outing. The shot will not fall. Adams, some nice D. Here's Robertson. Second shot opportunity, and goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Moutier with the ball. He's coming off a 10-point game against Brooklyn. Lets it fly from 18. Cantor's shot is off.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
Doesn't get it to drop for him. Here's Hardaway. It's hauled in by Adams.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
Here's Roberson. Porzingis with the block.
Well, you can see Porzingis taking some pride right now on the defensive end of the floor, taking care of the shooter with his long wingspan that time.
Thunder with the rebound. Adams has got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him, but for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. In a draft stacked with point guards, Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
And so he hits both.
In last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
Westbrook double team. Here's George. And it falls over the rim and in.
And that's just not something Russell came in doing, being a playmaker. But what we're seeing out of Westbrook now, great vision.
And a big problem for the Knicks and their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Hardaway, no good.
Credit the defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made him attempt a difficult layup.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
The Knicks trail by 5. Now Moutier. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Here's Westbrook. Nice D from Porzingis. Here's Ntilikina. It's stolen by Adams. Here's Roberson. Buries the jumper to finish the break.
Well, no hesitation from Roberson that time. Got his shot off quickly as soon as he got the ball.
Now here's Moutier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Cantor. He's on target from 8 feet out. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Westbrook dishes to George. The Knicks pull it in.
Now this is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible. Not getting anything to go.
Now here's Moutier. He's covered by Westbrook. Moutier kicks to Hardaway. Off target from 3-point range. Oklahoma City has gone a meager 1 of 6 from 3-point land since we got started tonight. Westbrook drives in. They retain possession. Adams has gone 1 of 3 on the night. Up top, Moutier. He's covered by Westbrook. Moutier passes to Porzingis. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And watching Porzingis play, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. Not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks. But if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others.
And he makes both free throws.
I don't think it'll ever go away with Porzingis on draft night getting booed by the home crowd. And now, nothing but love.
Now here's Westbrook coming off a solid outing against Philadelphia. That one goes. Count it. Adams has got his second bucket tonight.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Over in the quarter, Porzingis. Over Anthony. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
They're going to take a little bit more to get Porzingis off of his sweet spot and his offensive game now.
They set the pick. Screen by Adams. George dishes to Anthony. Releases from 15. It's rebounded by New York. Their last meeting was in Oklahoma City, where they were unable to fight off the Thunder.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, that had to have been #1 priority for the coaching staff coming into this one, limiting those turnovers and making sure they don't beat themselves this time. Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Porzingis can't hit.
That's a great effort on defense. He definitely rushed his shot a little bit down low.
Westbrook with a wide open look. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Westbrook's got 5 points so far.
Well, there are guys that stop on a dime and shoot, but Russell stops and rises up. No way to challenge him there.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him.
There are times where you have to play with a little bit more caution. That's already his second foul in the first quarter.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Cantor. Beasley comes in for Hardaway. Lee's checked in for Ntilikina. And Trey Burke subbed in for Emmanuel Mudiay. Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Felton comes in for Roberson. Shot clock at 3. Shot's good by Lee.
He's got no problem shooting off the pass, trusting his teammates will get it to him.
Westbrook kicks to Adams. Feeds it to Felton. Wants to get it to Westbrook and does. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Man, we all saw that right there. Is he part feline? Cat-like quickness and elevation from Westbrook.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Now here's Beasley. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
A lot of those plays came off tremendous hustle. He was committed to ripping down as many rebounds as he possibly could in this one.
George against Beasley. George up top. Boy, that win against the 76ers. He's another guy who really showed up to play. Porzingis with the steal. Beasley in the post, defended by George. Lee passes to O'Quinn. And Adams sends it back.
Adams is a decent shot blocker, but relies on his position mostly, that time in the right spot.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together. Wow, he put a little extra on that one, didn't he?
The Thunder with the lead. And here's George. Looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game. to Westbrook. Just 5 on the clock. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And Brent, when some guys slam it home, they treat it like a normal play. Who are some of the guys that use the dunk as a tactic to fire up their teammates?
Well, I think we have some guys who are really spectacular when they finish, Kevin. Certainly anytime Blake Griffin gets to the rim, or DeAndre Jordan, where seemingly his head's up in there and slams it down, it fires up the crowd. But most of the time, it's the little guys that get you going the most. On the fast break, all of a sudden the ball gets to somebody on the wing, and to watch a little guy get up in the air with somebody underneath him and throw it down, that gets everybody off the bench and fired up.
So unexpected, Brent. That's a great point. The Knicks making a switch here. Thomas is checked in, and then for Oklahoma City, Nick Collison's checked in for Adams, and Alex Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Here's George, and no good, trying to use the glass.
Yeah, just not his night so far, guys.
Burke kicks to Lee. New York moving the ball around, and that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
Well, he can score on the inside. He's just so big that there's plenty of room for him to carve out.
Watch Kyle O'Quinn play, and you see a player who's a solid option off the bench.
Well, at a Norfolk State, Kyle O'Quinn has the kind of size that you would want for that position. I'm not sure necessarily about a skill set as a stretch 4 out there, but he brings great energy, a nose for rebounding, and comes in and gives you consistent effort.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Brewers checked in. On the free throw, no good. And a bit of a bittersweet question for you, Brent. We know you spent so many years with the Sonics, who eventually were uprooted and became this Thunder team. How badly would you like to see Seattle get a basketball team again?
I think it's the NBA's mission to get back to Seattle, and under Adam Silver, he's asked questions about the return to the Emerald City, and I think it's going to happen, Kevin. If it does, I'd love to be a part of what the organization does up there. I do miss the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest.
The Knicks shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And Brett, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players, from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin. I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the off-season, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
Here's Beasley. Patrick Patterson picking up that last bucket. Beasley with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Lee outside. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
Yeah, it is always a great feeling when you go the extra distance, double OT in this case, and are able to come away with that win.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Now here's Burke. Tight defense on him. Back to Thomas. And it's Beasley in the corner. But they recover it. Out to Lee. Passes to Burke. Back to Lee. Tries again. Another miss for him. Now shooting 1 for 4 from the floor. To the left wing. And here's Felton from the arc. Doesn't go either for Felton.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Thomas dishes to Burke. There's 1:38 left to play in the first quarter. O'Quinn, the pass to Beasley. Shoots over Patterson. And it's Beasley again missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Abrinas kicks to Felton. It's good from long range. Felton's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
It's foolish leaving anyone that wide open from outside the arc. The D has got to be better.
Burke dishes to O'Quinn. Lee outside. And he lays it straight in. Lee's got 6.
Lee, a good job down low. Tough to do as a guard to carve out that much room.
Pass to Abrinas. There's 48 seconds left to play in the first. Felton the pass to Collison. That's no good. Couldn't get his first shot to go. Knicks trail by 3. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Felton with the ball. 9 points last game out. And a fast break now for New York. Burke kicks to Lee. He feeds it to Beasley. The pass to Burke. Picked by O'Quinn. Just 5 to shoot. Off the pick. Outside Thomas. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Abrinas. And no good trying to get that one. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Thunder lead by 3. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, but also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Cleaning the glass. I mean, right from the jump. And that really helped them to set the tone.
I think you said it. If you start off playing physical, Greg, there's kind of the attention of the referees and the opponent that you're coming at them all night long.
And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Burke is out there with Lee. Then it's Thomas. Then there's Beasley. And it's O'Quinn in at the 5.
Now, stretching the floor out is important. And right now, Courtney Lee able to do that.
Now here's Felton. Burke covering. Patterson, the screen. Stolen by Thomas. Right side, Lee. Now Burke. Kicks to Beasley. Just 5 on the clock. Pulls up on the wing, and the call against Lance Thomas. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
Big difference between aggressiveness and awareness. There's no way he's getting that rebound right there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Beasley. Ntilikina comes in for Lee. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Trey Burke. Outside, Felton. There's the dish to Brewer. The tray. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Emmanuel Mudiay spent a year in China prior to the NBA rather than playing in college. A lot of people respect what he did while he was over there. He said, being in a foreign country, everything is different. It made me mentally strong. Now in the NBA, he said, you've got to have confidence because every point guard in this league can play. You've got to keep that edge and be prepared at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Mental fortitude is critical, especially when you're a young player in this league.
Well, the D was there, but O'Quinn good in the paint there and tough to shake.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one, and that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Collison with a screen on Thomas. There's the pick. Anthony dishes to Collison. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. And the Thunder lead by 4.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Thomas kicks to Mudiay. Over to the wing. Here's O'Quinn. Rebounded by Anthony. Anthony's got 4 rebounds in this game. Wide open. That one's not going to go. And New York the other way now. Here's Ntilikina. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
And you can see he's been working on that post game. Ntilikina showing some skill set down on that low block, using that length to his advantage.
Anthony can't hit. For New York, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
Carmelo out there salivating going at this defense right now. Even if they're right up on him, he'll just sink just about any shot.
Hardaway passes to O'Quinn. It's hauled in by Collison. Collison's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Aprinas, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. And now a 4-point Oklahoma City lead. Knicks have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Here's O'Quinn. He was averaging around 5.5 points a game. Pass to Ntilikina, trying his luck deep. And again, New York with the triple.
Ntilikina continues to impress from deep. He's definitely showing he's comfortable shooting it from beyond.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. We've heard the rumors, Brent, the death of the big man, but with guys like Towns and Porzingis and others entering the league that can play on the perimeter and still have that length to make a difference inside, could we see a big man renaissance, or at least maybe see him have more of an impact than people are giving him credit for right now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the evolution of the 5 spot, Kevin. So it's not that the big man is lost, it's that the big man's doing a lot of the things that the little man used to be asked to do, and that is shooting threes, handle the ball, make some decisions at the top of the key, be a playmaker. It's fascinating to watch guys with this sort of size and this sort of skill, and also being this young, having such a tremendous impact for the organizations they're playing for. A lot of people look at Russell and think you roll the ball out, and with his athleticism and tenaciousness, he just takes it over. But the guy hits the film room. I mean, he studies up. He wants to know about his opponent. He wants to get better as a performer, get more consistent. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes with Russell Westbrook.
A free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And for Westbrook, in his watching of film, he isn't looking for what he's doing on the floor, Granny says he's gaining an understanding for everyone else.
I think that kind of approach is pretty heady, don't you, Kevin? The fact that Russell not only wants to improve himself, he wants to have a better understanding of every aspect of the game. That's his decision making. That's where his teammates are finding success on the floor. Defensively, how teams are matching up with him. That's a lot to take in on top of the responsibilities he already has for this Oklahoma City team.
Now here is Hardaway. 11 points for him in that last game against the Nets in Brooklyn. Excellent D there from George.
You got to make that. The defense was far from terrible, but man, that's an easy shot.
Here's Anthony. The Knicks pull it in. Cantor's got his 4th rebound in this one. Yep, it goes, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Ntilikina.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Now here's Westbrook. 9 points in the game so far. Off the pick. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
The defense, not so good. And when you're deep inside like that, you got to come through.
Here's Porzingis. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Lobs it up for Anthony.
You know, he didn't score the ball much in the first quarter, but he has been really, really solid during the second quarter. I expect a big game from him now.
Cantor with a screen on Westbrook. Moutier dishes to Cantor. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws.
And putting the defender in a difficult spot. Cantor with the strong frame. Hard to stop on that.
And Greg, with Enes Kanter last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench. A great array of post moves to pick from.
And the first one at the line is good. You look at the Knicks last season, the organization just wasn't on the same page. Front office members, Brent feuding with current and former players, team active in trade talks, it seemed season long. Hard to win games with that atmosphere.
Well, it was a circus last year. How many things happened on and off the court for the Knicks where they spent a tremendous amount of energy dealing with that instead of the problems closing out and getting rebounds and suffering through turnovers. You just don't want to spend any extra energy with that kind of stuff, and it felt like it just piled on the Knicks last year.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around him.
There's a screen. Cantor sets the pick for Moutier. Pass to Cantor. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Thunder have gotten 7 of their 12 field goal attempts to drop here in the second quarter, up over 50%. Screen by Adams. Anthony kicks to Roberson. Porzingis against Anthony. Jumper off the screen. Tries again. That's tipped, and that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. And here's Westbrook from the arc.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game.
Here's Porzingis over Anthony. Porzingis can't hit. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Puts it up, and that one's good. Westbrook's got 14 points.
I'm not sure the opposing team's coaching staff has a tactic to slow down Russell Westbrook.
The feed to Hardaway. Cantor sets the pick for Hardaway. Inside. That's it, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Cantor.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
Here's George. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
I like the defensive effort. They did a good job altering the mid-range shot and then making the shooter feel a bit uneasy.
Moutier. There are a fair amount of explosive point guards in the league, and Moutier is right up there with the best of them. Brent, the way he can just blow by a guy and rise up is incredible for a guard his size.
Yeah, Moutier can cover a lot of space with just one dribble, so take up the ground that's being offered up to you by your defender. It's just tough to remain consistent with that kind of shot attempt night after night over the top of defender and with contact. We'll see as he progresses how that goes.
2 shots.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And with Moutier, although he is a heavy rotation player, Greg, he is still somewhat of a project long term.
You know, it isn't always easy to be patient with Moutier, but that's what is needed. Slowly improving his efficiency, which is a big issue for him. And you can see the raw potential, but he has a lot of smaller things to clean up.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Oklahoma City shooting 47% from the floor since the end of the first quarter. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. George with the ball. Beasley covering. Adams with the screen on Beasley. Beasley with the steal. And a fast break now for the Knicks. Here's Moutier. Not going to go that time. Westbrook with the nice D there.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
George against Beasley. Shot from the wing. And Adams with the slam.
You know, a big guy with a motor is such a luxury in this league. Adams right there showing up big on the offensive glass, and then he converts.
Now here's Lee. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Here's Moutier, takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. And the Knicks lead by 1. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Westbrook with it, defended by Moutier. And it's Westbrook missing. Cantor, the pass to Moutier. Beasley inside, defended by George. And that one is good by Beasley.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Thunder trailing by 3. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Westbrook kicks to Adams. Adams with the screen on Lee. Here's Roberson. Knicks with the rebound. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. 1:33 left in the second quarter. Cantor sets the pick for Moutier. He dishes it to Cantor. And Adams sends it back. And Courtney Lee gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. The Knicks making a switch here. Burks is checked in. Thunder trailing by 3. Left side Westbrook. Takes the 13-footer. The Knicks pull it in. Cantor's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Porzingis showing you what he can do if he gets that close. The big man up big time.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Patterson, the screen. Here's Westbrook. Buries it down low. Westbrook's got 9 points in the quarter.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
Now here's Porzingis. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
Felt like he also was prepared for whatever the opposition was coming at him with. He was either contesting shots or swatting them away. Just a dominant defensive performance all the way around.
That one's in there. The New York lead is cut down now to just 3 in the basket from Westbrook.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Now here's Burke. Screen by Porzingis. Burke with it. Westbrook picks him up. 4 on the clock. He faded back on that one to give himself some room. Beasley's got the lead up to 5 now for the Knicks. In a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. New York ahead, up by 5. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Carmelo, you got some real numbers off the bench in the first half. How important is that contribution to the team?
Well, I mean, we always believe that we have one of the better benches in the NBA, and when they come to play like we're playing so far, you know, it makes it a tough game, it makes it a tough team to beat, and you know, just hopefully we can keep that up.
I'm sure it puts confidence in you and in the coach going into the second half. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They asserted themselves nicely in the second quarter and now have a fairly comfortable 5-point lead here at halftime. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their ball movement was phenomenal. Now, they're in good position to win this game, large in part because of those assists. And this is the thing, Ernie. When you win as a team, you feel better about everything that happens.
And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Well, a lot of their points came in transition. They dictated the pace of the game. It was a fast pace. Put the defense back on its heels. I say keep attacking the second half. Do not slow down.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
Yeah, and through 2 quarters, he's been lights out. And you know he's going to look to add to those totals.
And defensively, hard to force him out of the rhythm at this point because he has a number of ways with which he can beat you.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. The Knicks leading by 5. And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Anthony. And it's Adams in at the center filling out the middle. Now here's Cantor. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Porzingis. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Dishes it to Robertson. He kicks it to George. Feeds to Adams. Pass to Westbrook. Shoots the 3. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got 8 rebounds in this game. Pass to Moutier. Expanding his range. Oh, good on that one. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
So here's Westbrook after Enes Kanter's basket.
And that was almost one for the highlights. The long-distance alley-oop, just a fraction off the mark.
Here's Ntilikina. 9 points in the game so far. And Adams sends it back.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
They get it back. Here's Anthony. Porzingis with the block. And he's able to get it back. That one's in there. The New York lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Adams. For New York, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Moutier passes to Porzingis. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got 4 assists in the game.
Well, Porzingis can be dangerous from the mid-range, especially with the feet set. That's an efficient shot.
Now, here's George. Adams sets the pick for George. Back to Adams. George against Hardaway. Puts one up from 19. George, no good.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
And Brent, 14 years in the NBA, you spent about half your time on the defensive end. Of all the guys you were matched up against, who was surprisingly difficult to cover?
It's funny, Kevin, because a lot of coaches would tell you I did not spend half of my time on the defensive end.
Well, I know better. I know better.
Surprisingly difficult to stop, I would tell you, it would be Mitch Richmond. Many years in Sacramento playing for the Kings. He was known as the Rock, and I can tell you why. Running into him and his physicality as a 2-guard was very, very difficult to stop. One of the game's greatest 2-guards.
Sturdy, wasn't he? He was thick. He was hard to move is what I think about.
He was very thick and physical, which was something that I was certainly not. And they also ran a myriad of screens for him on every possession. The most potent offensive player they had was Mitch Richmond, and they would get him open every time. So a very difficult cover for me.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for New York. Both good from the line that time.
This OKC team is one of the best in the league when it comes to getting themselves to the free throw line, and a lot of that comes with the sheer force of Russell Westbrook, who draws a ton of fouls. But there's a few other crafty players who can get to work on the inside and find their way to the free throw line.
Here's Ntilikina after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. There's the pass to Moutier. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. And the foul on Kyle O'Quinn. That is his first foul of the game. Lance Thomas, he's checked in for Porzingis. Then for the Thunder, Collison comes in for Adams. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. The Thunder, a strong team at getting points off free throws, Brent. It helps having Cantor, who's also good at drawing fouls.
Well, we see how much a team can have success just stealing easy points from the free throw line. So most teams that are near the top in terms of finding free throw attempts per game find their way into postseason play. The Thunder have set that trend. Westbrook's aggressiveness, Cantor on the inside, and Adams playing aggressive around the rim.
For Oklahoma City, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
No good on the free throw.
Take a look at the Knicks over the last few seasons, Kevin, and they just haven't gotten anything going. Last year, they thought they were in a good spot with the additions of Rose and Noah, but the team just couldn't string anything together, had a myriad of problems both on and off the floor.
And he sinks the second. Brent, for the Knicks, they go after big names to try and get a super team together. But unfortunately, they've been getting players on the downside of their career.
I think that's the head-scratching part of all this, Kevin, is that this is New York City, often referred to as the Mecca of basketball, yet free agents have avoided New York. They have not wanted to come and take on the pressure of helping to rebuild the franchise. And many of these issues stem from a disconnect between management and what's going on the floor.
Here's Abrinas following the score by New York. That one drops for him.
They are just killing them on the interior.
The Knicks leading by 6. Moutier dishes to Thomas. Thomas a screen. Here's Hardaway. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
No defender is going to have a shot against that kind of play. He's just too tall to stop that close to the rim.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. the son of a former all-star point guard. Junior, not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability, improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
The Knicks leading by 7. Now here's Moutier. And Thomas has it in the corner. Over Anthony. Thomas, no luck.
Really surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds, given what the scoreboard says.
And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his first foul. Trey Burks checked in for New York. Here's Felton. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. He feeds it to Anthony. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Collison, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Collison. And Brent, you went up against Hornacek as a player and even defended him a couple times. What was it like playing against Hornacek, the player?
Well, I want you to ask Jeff Hornacek if I defended him, because I thought I did a good job, and sometimes the box score didn't reveal it. But what a tremendous shooter, a great off-ball mover, certainly in that system with John Stockton. And if there was any room, Kevin, that I gave Jeff Hornacek, and trust me, there was plenty of times I did that, he was knocking down jump shots. One of the most efficient players in Jazz history.
Now here's Burke. Kicks it to O'Quinn. Thomas passes to Hardaway. A 3-ball. Carmelo Anthony grabs the board. Thunder trailing by 6. Down low. And here we go. Fast break. Burke's got it. He gets it in there. Burke's got his second bucket of the night.
We wasted absolutely no time getting the ball up the floor. Great instincts in transition.
And here is Brewer over Thomas. And Anthony with the basket on the assist from Corey Brewer. Anthony's got 10.
Can't allow that much separation, even as the pass is coming his way. Gotta try and crowd Carmelo as best you can.
Ntilikina, terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. And the Knicks lead by 8.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. And one issue that has come up for the Knicks in their quest for success, Brent, is their lack of continuity.
Maybe one problem, Kevin, is that the New York Knicks organization feels just a bit too cliquey between ownership and then management and the coaching staff, and that there just hasn't been the kind of connectivity that you need in order to make things grow organically. It's been very forced in New York City, and until they find that right combination, the struggles can continue.
Free throw good from Collison.
Well, for the Thunder last season, the first one in the AD era, that stands for after Durant, you can imagine just how devastating his departure was for the fans of the franchise. But I think Sam Presti, as the general manager, prepared themselves for Kevin Durant leaving and for Russell Westbrook to assume the reins of the team.
Collison hits them both. And with OKC, as long as this team has been in this city, they have known success as a franchise.
Part of the fear that losing KD in free agency was that the success was going to go with them. But on the shoulders of Russell Westbrook having an historic NBA season, averaging a triple-double, Billy Donovan got these guys to play pretty hard, ended up being in the playoffs, and now have young guys that maybe could show some potential to maintain a level of success this fan base is used to.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And he can't get the first one.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
And he's good on the second. Burke with it. Beasley the screen. Burke kicks to O'Quinn. Now here's Lee. Defense right on him. Moves back up. Thomas up top. Covered by Brewer. Thomas, no good. Thunder trailing by 5. Now Brewer. The dish to Felton. Collison with the screen for Felton. No good from outside. And stolen by Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Well, this team now has to settle in right here and have a great possession without getting so aggressive that you compound your mistake.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Patterson a screen on Beasley. Abrines kicks to Collison. Excellent use of the screen that time. Collison's got 7 points in the game.
That screen made it impossible for the defense to put up any kind of fight.
The Knicks leading by 3. Here's Burke. Lee outside. And Thomas has it in the corner. And where the shot's been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Knicks.
And really, there's just such a lack of scoring for them from out at the top of the arc in terms of three-point range. And in today's game, you have to get scoring from the three-point range. And that area out above the free throw line extended is a real weak spot for them so far.
The first one falls.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
And both free throws good for Thomas.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
To the paint. Here's Abrines. Good. And a nice assist from Felton. Felton has got 3 assists now in this one.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded out game.
Now here's Burke. Beasley dishes to Thomas. Back to Beasley. Beyond the arc. Gets the three-pointer to fall. He's got 9.
Well, in this day and age, big men shoot more and more three-pointers, and he's fully capable of a triple.
Right side, Felton. On the wing, Brewer. Shot from 16. Here's Collison, and it's blocked by O'Quinn.
Good reach by O'Quinn, getting to the shooter and reading when he was releasing it.
Shot's good by Lee.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Thunder trailing by 9.
And looking at the career of Courtney Lee, you know, has hopped around from team to team a bunch of times and always a valued teammate, but just hadn't stayed on one team for very long.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Enes Kanter comes in for Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Porzingis in for Lance Thomas. And with Lee, you know exactly what you're going to get with his defense and shooting.
And Lee is always going to be a wanted commodity. His ability to defend and shoot aren't easy to find, and you just hope he's able to kind of settle into a long-term situation.
And Courtney Lee, one of the more reliable pros in the NBA.
That might not sound like a lot, Kevin, but coaches are always looking for consistency, things they can rely on from any given player, and Courtney Lee has done that. A 2-guard that can defend, can knock down some threes, and isn't going to get outside of himself all that often.
Free throw good, Lee.
Courtney Lee, the journeyman, continues to excel no matter where it is that he unpacks his bags.
And both free throws good for Lee. Thunder trailing by 11. Right side, Westbrook. 1:57 left to play in the third. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
It's just been an off night for him. That doesn't happen all that often, but the thing that you do at this point is not to push it, not to rush it. Let it come back to you.
Here's George. Oh!
No way.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. Now here's Beasley. Excellent D there from George.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Here's Roberson. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. 5 to shoot. Porzingis with the block. Back to Burke. Over in the quarter, Porzingis launches a 3. Burke can't get it to go. Thunder trailing by 9. Left side, Adams to the paint. Patterson, that's good. Patterson's got 6.
That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
If they increase the tempo, they got a chance at a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and you're going to have to get up a quick shot to make that happen.
Roberson can't hit. The Knicks leading by 7. Beasley outside. Now here's Burke. He's covered by Westbrook. Screened by Porzingis. Lee passes to Porzingis. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. Westbrook. He can't hit that time. And so it's New York bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. The defensive work they've done against Paul George has been a big factor. He hasn't done anywhere near the kind of damage we expected. Back right after this. Just one quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thunder trailing by 7. Beasley out there with Porzingis. Then it's Lee. Then it's Moutier. And it's Cantor in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Lee left side. And Lee with the stuff.
Now, the scouting report did not have Courtney Lee dominating the game, but that's exactly what he's doing here.
Oklahoma City shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Shot from 12. It's rebounded by New York.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
It's tipped. Here's Moutier, and it's sent back by George. Tries it from 19. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Russell Westbrook.
Great recognition there from Russell Westbrook. You take away his path to the basket, he can still just rise up and get you from the mid-range.
Now here's Cantor. Lee, a screen on Adams. Unloads from 13. Moutier with the basket. And the Knicks lead by 9.
Yeah, just so crucial that Moutier becomes a very consistent mid-range shooter for this team. Like to watch him focus on improving that shot.
Beasley against George. Patterson a screen on Beasley. Patterson the screen. Here's Adams. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Steven Adams brings a lot to the team, Brent. Got a chance to be more involved, in fact, with the offense after Durant left.
Well, he's not a wispy 7-footer, Kevin. Thick and rugged out there on the floor and willing to set a lot of screens to free up Russell Westbrook. One of the things I'd like to see them do is maybe explore him in the post a little more often as an offensive threat. I think he's capable down there.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
Once a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, Steven Adams has the size and smarts to really become a devastating big man in the NBA.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Beasley. And it's Ntilikina in for Lee. And a switcher also for Oklahoma City. Anthony's checked in. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Well, Steven Adams can have an impact on the game, certainly defensively, certainly with the screen setting. But how about the character of the center of this basketball team? One of the most quotable players in the league, and he'll never hold back from speaking his mind in an interview. Gotta love his disposition.
Hardaway from outside, and the rebound goes to the Thunder. Westbrook's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him.
Roberson gets the bucket. And with Adams being so likable and quotable, a lot of it has to do with his incredible wit.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Steven Adams talk show once his career is finished. Or maybe not. Maybe before his career is finished. But when you're the younger sibling, you usually come up with a very refined sense of humor.
Right. Like you, Brent. Westbrook drives in, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Cantor. For those just joining us, 4th quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Westbrook dishes to George.
The wheels have completely come off for him here in the second half.
Good D by Hardaway. From beyond the arc, Ntilikina can't hit. Thunder trailing by 5. Here's Anthony. The Knicks pull it in. Porzingis has got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Out to the right wing. Back to Hardaway. And he finishes nicely on the layup. And the Knicks lead by 7.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Sinks it, and the shot from Porzingis.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
Pretty clear that for the New York Knicks, the next best big thing in the city is Kristaps Porzingis. This franchise knows that he's the future and also the present, so he'll be the star that they build around in years to come.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Billy Donovan talking to his team. He got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Show me you've got what it takes, guys.
Thank you, David. And it's the Knicks with the ball after the missed three by Carmelo. Cantor's shot is off. Thunder trailing by 10. Outside, George. Pass to Anthony. Here's Westbrook. It's deflected.
And offensively, he has been a liability more than he's helped this quarter.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
You know, you hear that A word all the time, aggressive, and sometimes just being that can turn your game around. He's been that in the second half, their go-to guy here.
Hardaway no good on the free throw line. And Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the legendary point guard who played for the Warriors as part of Run TMC. Tim Jr., though, Brent, is a shooting guard.
Well, Tim Jr. is a guy I saw walk into the gym when I was a young NBA player, as Tim would bring his son to the summer workout. So I've known that kid a long time. He's not a kid anymore. He's been playing like a man, has waited for his opportunity, and last season had his best overall season of his career.
6 on the shot clock. And another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you can turn it up.
The shot by George, no good.
Well, his struggles are consuming the rest of the team here tonight. He's got to find his rhythm and find it fast.
Cantor's shot is off.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And now here's George, the fast break opportunity.
But the effort's been there for him, just not getting the results.
Outside Hardaway. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. And the Knicks making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. Hardaway from outside, and the foul on Kyle O'Quinn. That's his 5th foul. Thunder trailing by 12. Now here's Westbrook, screened by Adams, and here's George for 3. That doesn't go either for George. Hardaway with it. George picks him up. Stolen by George. To the middle. Here's Anthony, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's on Porzingis.
Well, Melo's getting inside, maybe even under the skin right now of the defense.
Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer.
Take a break.
And hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
The first free throw is good.
Just get a feeling like Melo has brought some extra energy to this one. This guy eats, drinks, and breathes basketball, but he's at it here tonight.
And Anthony drops them both. New York leading by 10. Moutier kicks to O'Quinn. Now the feed to Hardaway. Picked by O'Quinn. And he drops in the layup off the glass. O'Quinn's got the lead up to 12 now for New York.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
Adams' shot is off. New York's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. The three-pointer is right on target.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Fast break, here we go. A pass to Porzingis. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And as a team, they're hovering around the high 80s from the free throw line. They've gotten better as the game has gone along, which is exactly what you want to see.
That one is off.
And over time, O'Quinn has carved out a nice role for himself, a capable and bruising big.
And the second free throw, good. Thunder trailing by 16. Westbrook passes to George. Back to Westbrook. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. And now 24 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, not many guards are able to get to that spot as quick as Westbrook does. It's a comfort zone for him.
Outside Hardaway. New York moving it around. They swipe it. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. The Knicks leading by 14. And here's Porzingis for a 3. Good on the triple. Porzingis has got 6 in the quarter.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And George kicks to Adams. Shoots from the baseline. Not going to go that time. And New York will come the other way. Now here is Hardaway. He's covered closely. No good with the layup. Knicks with the rebound. Dishes to O'Quinn. And here's Moutier. Porzingis passes to Moutier. Clock at 6. And Roberson pulls it down. Thunder trailing by 17. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court.
Now Melo cashing in right now from the perimeter where he's in transition and spotting up. You got to get to him.
They set the screen. Feeds it to O'Quinn. He dishes it to Moutier. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound. Anthony's got 11 rebounds in the game. George against Hardaway. And George kicks to Adams. Outside Westbrook. 9 feet out. No good off the back of the rim. The Knicks leading by 14. Here's Ntilikina. He kicks it to Moutier. Kick by O'Quinn. Over in the corner, Porzingis. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. 19 points for Porzingis.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
And Anthony gets it to go.
And Melo operating in the mid-range, he does such a great job of finding open areas out there where he knows he can dominate.
Now here's Moutier. Lays it up off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 17.
And with time becoming a factor, that may do it, guys.
Well, leads are not given. They are earned, playing with desire and attention to detail all night.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They're behind by 17. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kristaps Porzingis.
And when he's been on the floor, it has been a clinic in rim protection and shot blocking. He's played the defense of 3 men tonight. His block total has gotten to a point you almost never see in an NBA game.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Cantor checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. The shot by George, wide open. His three-pointers off the mark.
Well, that's a shot right there he's going to hit 9 times out of 10. We just saw the 10% he doesn't make.
Moutier kicks to Porzingis. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
A little shiftiness there in Porzingis' game as he welcomed the contact and then converted on top of it.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. Hey, Brent, we've seen Hall of Fame players become coaches, but often it seems like the smart role player, they sustain more success in that role of head coach. Why is that?
I think, Kevin, a lot of times the role player is a conduit between both ends of the spectrum of your team. He can communicate with the star player. He can also talk to the guy who's the 12th man on the bench and make sure that both of them are getting what it is that they need to be in the best position to succeed. That's why you see a lot of players in that middle ground who do a great job of becoming NBA coaches as they understand the role of each.
And the work ethic, too, because for role players, maybe it hasn't come as easy. Whereas for a superstar, it was too easy.
That's true, Kevin. And how much work do you have to do with the most talented player on your team? It's pretty specific what his role is going to be. I think a role player who ends up being a coach understands the work dynamic of the rest of the team surrounding that player to create a great positive environment around your star.
First one falls for him. Good on both. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level.
Now here's Moutier. Cantor sets the pick for Hardaway. Off the pick, and Cantor throws it down. Great game for him, double-double now. 11 points and 14 rebounds.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
Moutier with the ball. Pass to Ntilikina. Now Moutier. So no problem for New York as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you next time.